F Troop is a satirical American television sitcom about U.S. soldiers and American Indians in the Wild West during the 1860s that originally aired for 2 seasons on ABC TV. It debuted in the United States on September 14, 1965 and concluded its run on April 6, 1967 with a total of 65 episodes. The first season of 34 episodes was broadcast in black and white, the second season in color. The series relied heavily on character-based humor, verbal and visual gags, slapstick, physical comedy and burlesque comedy make up the prime ingredients of F Troop. The series played fast and loose with historical events and persons, and often parodied them for comical effect. There were some indirect references made to the culture of the 1960s, such as a Play Brave club, and imitations of rock and roll bands. Setting and story. F Troop is set at Fort Courage, a fictional United States Army outpost in the Old West, from just at the end of the American Civil War in 1865 to at least 1867. There is a town of the same name adjacent to the fort. Fort Courage was named for fictitious General Sam Courage, who has been in the Army for 40 years. The fort itself is in the stockade style stereotypically found in most American westerns. The commanding officer is the gallant but chronically clumsy Captain Wilton Parmenter. Descended from a long line of distinguished military officers, he is awarded the Medal of Honor after accidentally instigating the final charge at the Battle of Appomattox. Only a private in the Quartermaster Corps, he is ordered to fetch the commanding officer's laundry. As he rides away to get the laundry, he repeatedly sneezes. A group of Union soldiers mistake his sneezing for an order to charge, turning the tide of the battle and earning Parmenter the nickname, the Scourge of Appomattox. He is also awarded the Purple Heart after he is accidentally pricked in the chest by his commanding officer while receiving his first medal, the only soldier in history to get a medal for getting a medal. His superiors, wishing to reward his action, promote him to captain and give him command of remote Fort Courage, a dumping ground for the Army's least useful soldiers and misfits. Notes why the Army sent him out there hoping they'd all desert. Of the 3 commanding officers at Fort Courage before Captain Parmenter, 2 deserted and 1 suffered a nervous breakdown. Much of the humor of the series derives from the scheming of Captain Parmenter's somewhat crooked but amiable non-commissioned officers, Sergeant Morgan O'Rourke and Corporal Randolph Egan. In league with the local American Indian tribe, the Heckawas, led by Chief Wild Eagle, are forever seeking to expand and conceal their shady business deals covertly and collectively referred to as O'Rourke Enterprises. Initially, rations and pay were drawn for 30 men at Fort Courage, even though only 17 are actually accounted for. The pay of the fictitious scouts is apparently used to help finance the dealings of O'Rourke Enterprises. Although O'Rourke and Egan try to take full advantage of Captain Parmenter's innocence and naivete, they are also very fond of and fiercely protective of him, and woe be to anyone attempting to harm him. Parmenter also struggles to exert his authority outside the ranks. Very bashful, he tries to escape the matrimonial plans of his girlfriend, shopkeeper postmistress Jane Angelica Thrift, known locally as Wrangler Jane, though he becomes a bit more affectionate towards her during the second season. In the episode, Captain Parmenter, One-Man Army, it is revealed that all of the soldiers of F Troop have been at Fort Courage for at least 20 months. Therefore they spent at least part of the Civil War at Fort Courage. They are so incompetent that when they are formed into a firing squad in the day they shot Egan, all of them completely miss Egan despite standing only a few yards away from him. The most common running gag through both seasons of the series involves the fort's lookout tower. Every time the cannon is fired in salute, the lit fuse burns out. Corporal Egan or Private Dobbs then steps up and kicks the cannon's right wheel, collapsing the cannon and causing it to fire off target. The cannonball strikes the support leg of the lookout tower, bringing it crashing to the ground. In the opening credits, this coincides with the line in the lyrics, "Before they resume with a bang and a boom." In one episode, an arrow brings the tower crashing down, and in another, Parmenter brings down the tower with a lasso. In another episode, musical instruments being played loudly cause the tower to collapse. The Fort Water Tower is also a frequent victim of this sort of gag. Another running gag involves dialogue between Sergeant O'Rourke and Agarn. In many episodes, O'Rourke says to Agarn, "I don't know why everyone says you're so dumb." After several lines of dialogue later, and occasionally after a commercial break, Agarn finally replies, "Who says I'm dumb?" Theme music. The dubious efficiency of F Troop is clarified in the show's opening theme. The words of the song were only used in the first season's opening credits, along with comical F Troop battle scenes intercut with stock Hollywood Western footage. The second season opening credits used only the instrumental ending part, over still cartoon scenes and caricatures of the main cast.